All right, what's up guys? VV back with another video. And in today's video, you see it on the screen, we've got some OP-14 action lined up for you today. So real quick, let me say this. In today's video and tomorrow's video, we're going to be going over some of these new OP-14 leaders. They are now available on the sim. So big shout out to Batsu and his crew for getting everything up and running. Real quick though, they don't have all the cards in just yet because all the new cards have not even been spoiled yet, right? So we'll have to wait for a little bit for everything to be fully caught up. But in today's video, let me go and break it down for you. First, we're going to be checking out 3 games on the sim. We're not going to do the deck lists first because we're going to be going over 3 different leaders in 3 different games on the sim. We're going to be going over a game of Black Crocodile, a game of Black-Yellow Gecko Moria, and a game of Blue-Yellow Boa Hancock. And then after that, we're going to check out, those deck lists. We'll go over to the deck editor on the sim, and we'll break those down after we check out their 3 games, and we'll wrap up the video in that way. And then in tomorrow's video, we're going to be going over the other 4 leaders, which would be Red Trafalgar Law, Green Mihawk, Blue Jinbei, and then Purple Doflamingo. Okay, so that will be for tomorrow's video. Now, let's do this, guys. Let's get right into it. I will have everything time-stamped in the general description, and I'll have all relevant deck lists and links and stuff like that in the comment section below. If you guys have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please do not hesitate to put those down in the comment section below, or hop on the VV Theory Discord. Link will be in the channel description. This video is brought to you by Nin Garden. Pre-orders are now open for the Journey's End playmat featuring the Pirate King, with a 1 in 20 chance to pull the special Wanted Bounty variant. Plus, the Chaos and Crown collection, including the Berserk and Absolute Ruler playmats, are available at a discounted price. Nin Garden is also introducing their new Soft Cloth hybrid playmats, now available with select designs. And don't forget to use the code TheVVTheory at the checkout to get 8% off on your next order. Alright guys, first game up we have Crocodile versus Black-Yellow Gecko Moria. So Black Crocodile versus Black-Yellow Gecko Moria. Volume is off, speed is on 2x, and here we go. So right away guys, let's be nice. This is my first time trying these new leaders out. The deck is not perfect, none of that. There's probably going to be plenty of play mistakes, but we're going to at least get a taste, get a glimpse of what these leaders can do. So right away, so we're going to be going second as Crocodile, and let me go ahead and pause for a second. I think we do want to go second as Crocodile, so we can slam down our 8-cost Crocodile, the secret rare, right on cue, and we'll look at these cards after the games. But being able to slam down this new 8-cost secret Crocodile is a really, really big deal. It gives you a lot of tempo. We'll talk about it more as we get to it. So going second for Crocodile, that's a thumbs up. Okay, now Black-Yellow Gecko Moria starts off with the Thriller Bark stage. That's very good for them. They're going to swing in for 5. We're going to counter out. I don't know if I can take aggressively with this deck or not yet. We'll have to see. We'll have to do limit testing later. Okay, so we're going to start off with a 5k attack for our turn 2 with the leader and play out Mr. 2 Boncray Bentham. Notice what this card does. I'm probably going to be doing a lot of pausing in today's video so we can talk about what these cards do. 4 cost, 5k, 1k counter, Baroque Works, Mr. 2 Boncray Bentham. On KO, play up to one character card with a type including Baroque Works and a cost of 5 or less other than Mr. 2 Boncray Bentham from your hand or trash. Okay, so there might be some logic in the future to KO this card right away to get a bigger, better card into play. Okay, and the first thing we played out, that Miss Valentine, I think, Makita, that is a searcher for Baroque Works. Okay, so Black-Yellow Gecko Moria, they're on their turn 3. They're going to attack in with the Absalom. They're going to attack in with the leader. They played out a Sindri, and they played out another Absalom. Okay, very nice. I think they played the Sindri out from their trash. Very good stuff there. All right, here we go. I think I am still going to favor going for the board, even though that Absalom has an on KO to do a top search for Thriller Bark. I think it's a top 3 search on KO. That's okay. As long as we clear their board up, we should be fine. Because remember, Crocodile and Gecko Moria can KO their own characters with their leader effect in order to get extra, benefits later on. So we're going to play out this Mr. 1 Das Bones by KOing the Mr. 2, hang on, pause. So guys, a lot just happened there. I attacked in with the Mr. 2 Boncray Bentham. And then after that, I KO'd it with my leader's effect to reduce the cost of a character by 8, or I think, excuse me, it might even be by 10 for the turn. and then that drops them down to 0, obviously, in this case. And when we KO'd the Mr. 2 Von Cray Bentham, I was able to play this 5-cost Mr. 1 Das Bones. I think it was either from my hand or trash. I can't remember. I think it might have been from my trash. That's the preferred place, but you can play it from either or, I believe. And this card allowed me to tap down a character with a power of 0, and it can attack into characters on the turn it's played. So we attack for 7 into the Absalom here. They're going to let that go. They get to fix their hand, but now I have full board control. So I think that was the right play in that situation there. We'll have to see, though, guys. Again, I have not played anything else. You know, what you see here is pretty much the only testing I've done so far with the new leaders in OP-14 on the sim. Okay, so they play out this new Perona, really good card here. Let's pause and talk about it right away. 4 cost 5K with a 1K counter. Trigger, you can play up to 1 Thriller Bark Pirates type character card with the cost of 4 or less from your trash rested. But on play and on KO, which is very relevant. Remember how the leaders work right now, guys. There's a lot of this stuff going around where you can KO your own characters. On play and on KO, up to 1 of your opponent's characters with a cost of 6 or less cannot attack until the end of your opponent's next turn. So there's a situation where you might be able to play this out and lock down 1 attack and then KO it to buff your board with Gecko Moria, the leader, and lock down another attack so that you can get extremely aggressive on offense. Okay, here we go. Now, they're going to go ahead and do an Inupe here to draw 2 trash 2. They're playing out Gigaro of the Wind, which has an on-KO to buff your leader whenever it gets KO'd. So that's a very nice interaction with this new leader and the Thriller Bark stage. Very solid combo there. Okay, well, we cannot attack with the Mr. 1 Das Bones. We're going to go ahead and KO our Makita here to turn the Perona into a 0-cost character. And now we're going to lock it down with our 8-cost Crocodile, and then we're not going to attack with the Mr. 4 Babe because they are a 4-cost 5,000 power blocker with a 1K counter that has an on-KO effect to get characters from the trash. So Gecko Moria is going to play out the new 8-cost Gecko, which can play up to 1 Thriller Bark Pirates type character to your life. And I think you can even get it from the trash, but I did not read it carefully enough there, and I can't remember. They're going to attack in for 7. We're going to 1K out, even though we have 2 2K counters. I wanted some extra stuff in my trash there. And I also want to give them the false impression that I have no counter when I actually have a pretty decent amount with a 2K and a 1-cost 3K. Okay, so right here, we swing in for 5, and now we're going to swing in for 7. We're trying to get a little bit aggressive here. We're going to swing in for 10. So, guys, understand, I'm actually trying to get to more Crocodiles. I wanted to be able to play out another Crocodile this turn, but we didn't get one. Okay, so right here, we're going to trash the KO the Crocodile with our leader's effect, KO the character Crocodile with our leader's effect, to give minus 10 to the Gecko Moria, replaying the Crocodile, and now we have locked down that Gecko Moria. They cannot attack next turn. And that is just a taste of how powerful this new Secret Crocodile is. We finish up by playing out 2 blockers. The Mr. 5 Jim allowed us to do a draw 2, trash 1, I believe, and here we go. My opponent plays out the new Boa, burning up my life and giving them a life. Your leader has to be your leader does have to be 7 Warlords of the Sea to get that effect. They're swinging for 7 into 5. I 2K and 1K to get out of it. They attack in, I block, and I think I'm going to grab a 2K counter or a Searcher right here. I'm trying to decide. I go with the Searcher because I'm looking for another 8-cost secret Crocodile. Guys, I can't find them. I just simply can't find it. Where are they? I run 4 in this deck. We'll look at that later. But that card, when you can chain them together, becomes very powerful because I'd be able to lock down 2 attacks at one time. Okay, so right here, we're going to go 5 into 5, and they end up, okay, they let that go, and they're going to make it where my Mr. 1 Das Bones cannot attack with the on-KO effect. Now we're going to go 10 into 5, and remember, guys, they can only hit a 6-cost or lower character. That's the idea there. So we're going to swing for 5 and see what they do here. It looks like, excuse me, we're going to use our leader effect, and we're going to make it where the Boa has minus 9 cost. We're going to KO the Crocodile, bring it back by trashing a card, and locking down the Boa. And then after that, we're going to do some more searching. I can't find the Crocodile anywhere, guys. I did another top 4 search. Guys, I am down. There they are. Found them. They were at the bottom of my deck. I'm down to like 7 cards left in my deck, guys. That's what this deck can do. It can get through a lot of cards very quickly. We play out a Sabo to get some blockers going, and then we're going to pass the turn back with 2 Dawn active, threatening 2 1-cost 3Ks potentially. Okay, so here we go, guys. Like I said, I'm down to like 7 cards left in my deck. I have to be very careful at this point of the game. They're going to swing for 7. We're going to 1-cost 4K to get out of that. They're going to swing in for 11. We're going to block and get some cards out of our trash. I think we might just search up a 2K counter at this point or another blocker. That's my two major options here. Is I either need blockers or counter power. I end up getting a 2K counter because this turn I want to play out a Crocodile. So here we go, guys. I have to start getting pretty aggressive because I can't make this game go on any longer or I'm going to lose by decking myself, milling myself out of the game. Okay, here we go. We're going to go 6 into 5. That gets a 2K counter. We'll go 6 more into 5, get another 2K counter. And now we're going to go 10 into 10. I think swinging into the Gecko Moria would have been a pretty good play there as well. And now watch this, guys. We got to play for them. We are going to trash we're going to KO the Crocodile on the board to make it with that Gecko Moria. Hang on, did I just check let me see how many cards I have. Hang on, I got to go back, guys. I have 6 cards left in my deck. So watch this. We go down to 4 to do that effect there. We go down to 3 once we play out this next one. And this is going to put us down to 2 cards left in deck, but they have no blockers, and we're going to Haute Couture Patchwork. That Gecko Moria will not stand next turn, and neither of those bows can attack. We have 2 blockers. We have 1 life. They're going to play out a Perona to get a card out of our hand, and then they're going to use the stage with Jigaro of the Wind to buff their leader, and they're going to try to just attack through. Well, guys, now it's okay, and they're attacking into a character, so I don't have as many attacks. I have 3 2Ks and a 1K, just enough to get out of that, and here we go. We are going all in. I'm going to swing with my 10Ks first and see what happens afterwards. Okay, now, okay, pause. So they do give up. We had 1 card left in our deck, guys, 1 card left, and we had to win right here or we lose the game by default. They could pass the turn back and we'd lose. They have 2 2Ks and a 1K left. What we were going to do next here, we could have attacked it a little bit more efficiently, I think. We could have gone, you know, swing 7, 7, 7, 7, and then everything else on the Crocodiles and won through that. But instead, I just cashed in on these Crocodiles and went from there. Not sure why. That's just the way we did it. Not the most efficient way. But again, guys, a little bit overwhelmed at this point of the game. Learning all these new interactions. Crocodile feels very strong, guys. Feels very strong. Okay, now let's move over to the next game. We have a game of Black Yellow Gecko Moria. Okay? Versus Red Purple Sugar. Volume is off. Let's get the speed on 2x, and here we go. So now we're the Gecko Moria. Last game we were going against Gecko Moria. Now we're the Gecko Moria. Okay, very cool stuff here. You know, you can trash 3 cards at any time when attacking in order to gain a life. Not the best effect in the game for me so far, at least not with this current build that I'm running that's more Thriller Bark Pirates focused. But at the same time, you know, who knows? When you know, you'll use it when you need to, right? So we're going to play out the Inupe here to watch this combo, guys. So early on, turn 1, we did some searching to get the stage and get this Inupe, right? And watch what happens here. We play out the Inupe to do a draw 2, trash 2. Now we're going to KO the Inupe with our leader's effect to draw 2, trash 2. Then we're going to bring it back with Thriller Bark, the stage, to draw 2, trash 2. It is so powerful. It allows us to search for cards like what you see in my hand right now, like this Boa Hancock or the 8-cost Crocodile, which you better believe I'm running in this deck. Guys, I think that new 8-cost Crocodile is just a generic staple now across the board for all decks that are running black. I think it's that good. Okay, so we end up KOing the Inupe, like I said. Now we're going to play it back out from the trash. We fixed our hand completely. We're putting all the cards in the trash we need in there, and now we're swinging in for 7. They have 1 Dawn active. They're probably going to do a search event here. Oh, okay, they actually have a 1-cost 4K in this card called Everwhite. Or excuse me, it's a 1-cost 3K. Okay, so Sugar's going to play out Monet. So Monet actually gets pretty decent after, what is it, after EB03 and OP-14. I think Sugar's probably going to be a pretty decent leader moving forward. We'll have to see what happens. Okay, so here we go. They're going to swing for 7. We're just going to take this. We could have countered out. Very nice. Never punished. We get an 8-cost Crocodile. Seems good. Now, 6 Dawn turn. We have a great turn lined up for us here with the Gecko Moria. Pause. We had a sequencing issue there, guys. If I had KO'd the Inupe first, I would have filled up my trash, and I'd have had 10 cards in my trash to get the effect of the Perona to pull another 2-cost out of my trash. That was a strict play mistake there, but like I said, bear with me, guys. I'm trying to learn how to play these new decks. Not a big deal. It's just unfortunate. Just unfortunate. Now we're going to KO the Inupe, and we're going to trash 2 cards, and we're going to swing in for 8K. This will cost a 1-cost 4K or something along those lines. And guys, we just played out a 6-cost 7K and a 4-cost 6K. Okay, for 6 Dawn, we just got all that and attacked for 8,000. Really high value. Black Yellow Gecko Moria, pretty awesome, guys. Pretty awesome so far. Okay, so they're already at 10 Dawn. Guys, I'm at 5 Dawn. Excuse me, I'm at 6 Dawn, and they're at 10. Somebody make it make sense. Red Purple Sugar might have the craziest ramp in the game right now. I don't know. Y'all tell me. Okay, they're going to follow up with the 10 cost Doflamingo. They're going to Dawn -3, and they're going to lock down. They're going to KO my Gecko Moria. Okay, and now they're going to attack in with the Monet. We're going to 2K out of that. I don't want to get too low, guys. I don't want to start trashing cards for my life this early. Okay, here we go. So guys, the Crocodile can only hit a 9 cost or lower on default, and I have no cost reduction ready to go here. Who knows? Maybe we need to start adding the, I think his name's Captain John. I think he has the ability to do minus cost, a 2 cost character that can -1 cost. Okay, so we swing for 5, we swing for 6, we lock down the Monet, they can't attack, and now we are ready to go. We've got this Crocodile on the board. I have a decent amount of counter in hand. I have 2 life, and then 5k counter in hand. If they attack into my Perona, I'm going to defend it to force them attack into it with their other attack for the turn, because they only have 2 attacks, their leader and their Doflamingo. Monet has been locked down. Okay, 9 into 6. I'm going to give them 2k counters there. That's fine. Then 10 into 6. That's actually fine. I want to keep my life pretty high here. Now we're on a 10 Dawn turn. We have options. We're going to go 10 into, let's see, 10 into 10. I swung with my Crocodile first, just in case they have, what's it called? Not Hell's Judgment, but just in case they have Nora Beam Sword. Then I attack into the Sugar. That card's gone. I'm going to play out a Boa, burn up their life, and now I'm also going to play out an Inupe for my trash to do a draw 2, trash 2. I'm looking for counter power and blockers, okay? Or life gain. I think I run 2 Boa Hancocks in this list. Okay, this guy swings for 5, and watch this, guys. My opponent is about to learn the hard way. Watch this. They're going to go 10 into 10 into my Crocodile before swinging with the Monet, I believe. Okay, they played out the Doflamingo and the Rosinante this turn. They can't attack there. Okay, I'll take it. On KO, trash a card, play it from your trash, locking down their Monet, and we got to draw a card. Don't ever attack into Crocodile, guys. Bottom deck it, bounce it back to hand, trash it, but never KO it. Okay, that means combat or effects. Okay, so here we go. I'm not out of it yet, guys. This is still a very close game. I'm going to have to find a way to sneak by for lethal. We're going to swing for 7 to start off. They're going to leader effect. Okay, if they take this hit, I might go for game. Right, that's the logic. They take the hit. We're going to play out the Boa. Now we're swinging in for 11k, and then we're going to swing in for 11 more. And even if they get out of this, which they might get out of this, guys. There's a 1 cost 4k that gives them 2k for the turn. It's a 1 cost 2k and then 2k for the turn. So 2k for the battle, 2k for the turn. Sorry if that was confusing. Okay, then they do get out of it, guys. They get out of it, but I have 4 life, and they only have 5 attacks. I have a 1k, 1k. They end up just giving up here. I think they probably should have tried to go for lethal. But to be honest, guys, look at what's coming. We have 2 searchers, and if those searchers hit 2k counters, I'm easily going to be able to get out of the last attack. I can take all of these. I got a 2k counter on top, and then 2 searchers that can get through top 3 cards, where I can get some other potential 2ks as well. And if I get I think if I just get 1 2k counter, I should be able to get out of this, because they have to make it through with all of their cards. So in other words, they need to swing for 9k on Sugar, 9k on Monet, 9k on Rosinante, and then 9k Doflamingo, 10k here. So that was 4 on Sugar, 3 on Rosinante, and 3 on Monet. That was how they would have to do that attack. And if they don't, if they try to go 7-7-7, I can get out of the second 7, and then I can't lose anymore. So they went ahead and just gave up there. They gave up a little bit prematurely, but like I said, guys, so I get a 2k counter from the top of my life, that gets me to 9k, and then if I can just get another 2k counter from this hurry up and make me the Pirate King, then I'm getting to another 2k counter as much as possible, or I can get out of their 9k and win through those ways, or through those means. Okay, good game to my opponent. We got 1 more game to go over. We got a game of Blue, Yellow, Boa, Hancock. Okay, volume is off. Let's get the speed on 2x. And here we go. All right, this is against Purple Doflamingo, guys. Purple Doflamingo is very nice, by the way. All right, here we go. So we're going to go first. So we do choose to go first here, I think, because we have 2 ways to play out 6-cost characters on 5. We can do it through the Boa Marigold, or we can play it out through that 1-cost event in our hand. We'll look at it a little bit later. I can't remember the name of it. Okay, 1 into 1. Does he want to protect this? My opponent thinks for a very long time on this, because the idea is that if they counter out of this, they can Dawn -1 and redirect my leader attack to their leader, I believe. Yeah, they can do that if they want to, if they want to go Dawn -1, but and potentially take a life, but I don't really, think that's the right call. Okay, so we swing for 7 into 5. They'll probably just take this. Yep, they take that, and then we're going to pass it back. They're up to 4 Dawn. Okay, here we go. So next turn, we're going to play out Marigold into the 6-cost Boa. 6 into 5, I am going to 2k counter out of that pretty aggressively. I don't know why, to be honest. Maybe we should have taken that. I'm not sure. There's not a lot of life gain in this version that I'm running, but maybe we should start taking life more aggressively and build something like Kuma into the deck, which is not in my current version. Okay, so we play out the Marigold, cheating out the 6-cost 8k. It doesn't matter that we have no target to hit. We don't care about that. We just want to keep, developing the board. So we have a 5-cost 4k and a 6-cost 8k now. We swing it for 5. They take it. Very dangerous. They play out Monet. And let's see what they choose to do from here. Monet with this new Doflamingo leader, pushing attacks into that, very strong. Okay, so 5 into 5. I'm going to take that. And now let's see what our opponent does. We have another Boa Marigold to cheat out this other Boa with, guys. This is actually a very good spot for us. And I think we might get super aggressive here. We're going to swing for 8 first, just to make sure, just to see if they want to move some attacks around. If they want to use their leader effect, that's fine. Let's see what they choose to do. Okay, and now we're going to swing for 7. Let's see if they want to move this attack around. And then we're going to play out the Boa Marigold to play out the 6-cost Boa Hancock. All right, so they move that around to the Monet, which lets them do a draw 2, trash 1, and ramp Dawn. Seems good. You can't play around that all that much. I guess you can try to play around it, but it's not that easy. Okay, so they're going to play out the 8-cost Doflamingo, cheating out a 5-cost Rosinante. That is such a good play right now. An 8-cost 9k into a 5-cost 6k, draw 2, trash 1. It's really trash 1, draw 2 in the opposite order, but still. Okay, going in for 5, we'll give them a 1k here. I'd rather keep my board healthy, but I think blocking with the Marigold was actually the better play, because watch what we get in a second here, guys. I think it's this next turn we draw into a Jozu. Okay, yep, right on time, like I said. If I had blocked with the Marigold, I could have saved a card in hand, and then I could have played out the Jozu to pull back the Grandma Nyan, or whatever her name is, after attacking into the Sugar, and I could have got more value in that way. But now we just have to swing for 5. Let's see what they do. They use the leader effect of Doflamingo. They use Bullet Sting to go +2 for the turn and +2 for the battle. And now we have to just swing for 8 and 8. Because I do want to develop this Jozu to push the Rosinante back to hand. Just get that thing off the board. Get it out of here. Okay, so we're gonna play over the Marigold because of how we had to do this, and then pull back the Nyan, we'll pull back our Searcher and then push the Rosinante out of the way. And now we're gonna swing for 8, and then we're gonna swing for 8 more. That's fine. He redirected the attack to the Doflamingo. It's not a big deal at all. We're gonna follow up with the Gloriosa, excuse me. Elder Nyan, that's her name, Gloriosa. And we're going to be able to play this out. And it looks like I might actually get a 2k counter, believe it or not, guys. I just want to try to win next turn, right? We just want to make it into next turn and go from there. If not win next turn, then at least put them on pressure next turn. Okay, they play out the 10-cost Doflamingo to slow me down big time. We're going to take the 5k hit, and then we're going to block out of this next one. I just needed to clear up some room on the board. Now I think we're going to play out the Boa Hancock. We're going right back up to 3 life here. We swing for 5. Do they want to take this? Okay, they counter out. That's fine. And then we're playing out the Boa, burning up their life, and we gain a life. And now, guys, they're actually in quite a bit of trouble here, aren't they? They're actually in quite a bit of trouble. They're going to play out the Doflamingo, playing out the Rosinante, and now they're going to play out the Dellinger, and now they're just in trouble. They're going to swing it for 9. We'll probably just take this, sure. And now they'll swing it for 10. I think we're going to take this. It doesn't matter. We're going in for lethal next turn, guys. Actually, we can get out of this if we want to. We have the, it's called Insolent Fool, Stand Down. We're going to 3k, 2k, 1k to get out of that. That was a lot of cards, but we're going all... They actually give up. The game's over. Because they left no Dawn as active, or because they didn't stand up Dawn, or whatever happened here, they did some type of major mistake where they did not stand their Dawn as active with the Rosinante. They clicked too fast or something. I don't know what, but it's going to cost them everything. Because what I thought was going to happen this turn, so guys, hear me out real quick, we're not actually going for lethal. The more I think about it, we were not going for lethal. I was going to play out 2 blockers and leave a Dawn active. So I had 8 Dawn that I could not use for the turn, and then I was just going to swing for 6, 7, 8, 8, 10. That was all I was going to do, which they would get out of. They would get out of that in some ways here. They have a 2K to get out of the first 6K from my leader, and then for the 7, they'll probably take that, which gets them to the bullet string, and then my 8, they'll counter out of with the bullet string, because remember, they should have had 2 Dawn as active, and then I swing in for 8 more, and then 10, and then I go, okay, replace my Jozu, replace my Gloriosa or Nyan, whatever their name is, and then I'm going to play out the both of the Boa Hancocks and go from there. And then I have 1 Dawn active, and here's the thing. If they swing in for lethal next turn, here's where they're going to be in trouble. First of all, I have 2 life and 2 blockers, so every single hit would have to connect. But what's worse is look at what the top card of my life is. When they go to attack in, I'm going to lock down their biggest attack, and then I don't even have to, counter out of one of them. I could probably just counter out, with whatever I have in hand, like a 1K or just block or whatever. The point is they wouldn't have enough to get through, and we would win through that. But again, I was not actually, the more I think about it, guys, I wasn't going for lethal this turn. It was just going to be a simple swing 6 with my leader, swing 7 with Jozu, and then 8, 8, 10, or maybe 8, 9, 10, depending. And then I would leave 1 Dawn active and play out my 4 cost and my 3 cost and go from there. So yeah, good stuff. And notice what my top card was. It is a 2K counter. So depending, actually my last card would not have played out of character, so never mind. I don't think I would have drawn a card from that. I'm trying to think, what makes her draw a card? I can't even remember. If you block with a 5,000 power or higher Amazon Lily or Kucha Pirates character, you take their life. But if you play out a card from your life, you get to draw a card. That's what it is. But we didn't have that coming, so that part would not have mattered as much. Either way, good game to my opponent. Now let's go ahead and go over to the deck lists and check those out. Real quick, let me move over here for a second. For those who are curious about playing on the sim, let me give you 2 warnings real quick. This is the new sim. Now when you log into the sim for the first time, you have to give a username, okay? You have to give a username now. So I wanted to see, so I like to stay anonymous, guys. I like when there's 100% anonymity. I don't like when people know who they're playing against. I just want it to be random games on the sim. I wish my name changed for every single game. That's how I wish it was. I wish I didn't even have to do it manually like I used to do before. Well, now you cannot do that. So I said, okay, let me see if you can sign out of the account and change it from there. I do not recommend doing that, because then it made me actually sign into an account on Unity in order to even play on the sim. And I deleted my account. I uninstalled or deleted the file to try and get a brand new one on. It remembered me. It said, nope, you have to sign in. Now you have to sign in through Unity. So guys, stay away from this sign out of account button unless you're trying to experiment with other things. That's number 1. Number 2, if you're trying to play on the sim, all you do, and to play with OP-14 cards, you click on Unlimited, okay? And that's how you can play with them. There's not a lot of games on here right now for obvious reasons. A lot of people are hopping over to the Eastern format to mess around with this. Excuse me, guys. Or they're hopping around on the Western format to mess around with this stuff. So there's not a whole lot of people on the Unlimited spot to play around on here. Just give everybody a heads up real quick. Okay, now let's check out the deck lists for today. We'll start off with Crocodile. I'll try to go in order. It was Black Crocodile, then Black Yellow Gecko, and then Blue Yellow Boa Hancock. So first off, here's the leader. I am going to read what it does. We're going to read quite a few of these cards to kind of understand what's going on. So and understand one more thing before I launch into this, guys. These lists are not optimal, okay? I'm just putting these together to get quick games on the sim because I wanted to try them out and see how things felt. Okay, so this Crocodile, 5,000 power, 5 life, 7 Warlords, Baroque Works, Mono Black Leader Crocodile. All of your opponent's characters cannot be removed from the field by your effects, okay? So you can't run removal in here. It won't work. And then activate main once per turn. You may KO one of your characters with a type including Baroque Works, and then give up to one of your opponent's characters minus 10 cost during this turn, then trash 2 cards from the top of your deck. Okay. Now, we're running 4 of this 2K counter Miss Wednesday. We're going to go through all the cards. I'm probably not going to read what every one of them does, guys. So be sure to pause and read what they do if you don't already know. Just know I'm going to go over each one, though. So we're running 4 of the 2K counter Miss Wednesday. We're running 4 of the Searcher Miss Valentine Makita. We're running 4 of the 2K counter Drophy Miss Merry Christmas. We're running 4 Morgans. This is just a nice 3-cost 4K, 1K counter blocker, draw 2, trash 2. Running 4 of the new Mr. 2 Boncore Bentham. Running 4 Mr. 4 Babe. This is a nice blocker. 4-cost 5K, 1K counter blocker. Perfect stats. And then on KO, add up to 1 character card one character card with a cost of 8 or less with the type including Baroque Works from your trash to your hand. So if you accidentally have to search over one of these crocodiles early on, no problem. You can get those back later with a card like Mr. 4 Babe. Running 3 of the 5-cost blocker Sabos. Running 4 of the Mr. 1 Das Bones. Pause and read this card, guys. Very solid for taking control of the board. And remember, we don't have removal in this deck. We don't have traditional removal because our leader's effect will not even allow us to remove characters, right? So we have to battle into the board and do things like that. Running, excuse me, guys. Running Mr. 5 Jim, 4 of these. 3 of Miss All Sunday. I was not enjoying playing this card too much from my limited testing, but it probably just depends on the matchup. I'm sure I'll like this card more, but this is a nice way to flood out the board. And this Mr. 5 Gem, I am going to read this real quick. 5 cost 6k, 1k counter blocker. On play, if there's a character with a cost of 0 or a character with a cost of 8 or more, draw 2 cards and trash 1 card from your hand. Really, really good stuff here. Then we're running 4 Crocodile. We will read this card in just a minute. We're going to really focus on this because this is kind of the heart and soul of the deck. But then we're running 4 Hawk Couture Patchworks. This is a 1-cost, -3 cost event. And it says, then up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 0 will not be set as active during the next refresh phase and triggers a draw 2 trash 1. This is actually a very nice event, specifically in Crocodile, because if they turn a card sideways, with the effect of Crocodile and the effect of Hawk Couture Patchwork, we can basically shut down any character in the game. Like, if they're already rested, that is. And then we're running Ground Death. This is a 1-cost this is a 1-cost 4k counter that says if you have 10 or more cards in your trash, up to one of your leaders or character cards gains plus 4,000 power during this battle. And then the main is you may rest 2 of your Dawn cards, so 3 Dawn altogether. Negate the effect of up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less during this turn. So in other words, oh, that's a cool blocker you have there. Now it's not a blocker anymore, right? Really good stuff here. Now, the entire deck is built around this card, and I feel like building every single black deck around this card in the future. I'm not going to lie. Check this out. 8 cost, 10,000 power. On play, up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 9 or less cannot attack until the end of your opponent's next turn. Then, if your opponent has a character with a cost of 0 or a character with a cost of 8 or more, draw 1 card. On KO, you may trash 1 card from your hand and play this character card from your trash. So you're able to KO this card with your Crocodile on the turn you play it to shut down 2 attacks. Because you play it out, on play, shut down that character, KO it with your leader's effect to play this out again to shut down that character. And remember, that on play effect, if your character has a 0-cost character or a character with a cost of 8 or more, you're drawing a card. So that ends up drawing 2 cards, and you only have to trash 1 card because of the on KO effect bringing it back. This card is incredible, guys. I'm not kidding when I say it is just, this might just be a staple black card moving forward. Okay, now let's move over to the next list, guys, and I'll kind of summarize everything at the end. Excuse me, guys. Sorry about my throat. Okay, next up is Gecko Moria. So this is a 5,000 power, 4-life, black-yellow, 7 Warlords of the Sea, Thriller Bark Pirates type leader with an activate main and a win attacking. Activate main once per turn. You may KO you may KO one of your Thriller Bark Pirates type characters, and then your leader and all of your characters gains plus 1,000 power during this turn. And then when attacking, you may trash 3 cards from your hand and add up to 1 card from the top of your deck to the top of your life cards. Okay, running 4 Victoria Sindri, 3 Anupe, 2 Cerberus, 4 of the new Perona from EB03, 4 call 6k blocker. On play, give up to 1 rested Dawn card to your leader or one of your characters. Then if you have 10 or more cards in your trash, play up to 1 Thriller Bark Pirates type character card with a cost of 2 or less from your trash rested. Then we're running 2 Hogbacks, 4 Perona, 4 of the new PRB02 Gecko Moria, 2 of this Crocodile. Might be going up to 2 more, guys. Might be going to 4. We'll see. Running 4 Absalom, the new 3 cost 5k on KO top 3 search. 4 of this Dr. Hogback, the on KO, play up to 1 character with a play up to 1 character card with a cost of 4 or less and a trigger other than Dr. Hogback from your trash. And notice that on KO can play back any card with a trigger, not even just not even just Thriller Bark Pirates type cards. But the trigger has to be a Thriller Bark Pirates type character card with a cost of 4 or less from your trash. Okay, next up we have Perona, 4 cost 5k, 1k counter. We talked about this a little bit earlier. On play and on KO, shutting down a 6 cost attack. And this new Thriller Bark Pirates trigger to play up to 1 Thriller Bark Pirates type character card with a cost of 4 or less from your trash rested. This is the new Gecko Moria. Same exact triggers what we saw, playing up to one character. Excuse me. Hang on. I don't know if that's like a typo or something, but it says play up to one character card with a cost of 4 less from your trash for the trigger. Maybe it's meant to be like that, but the standard trigger for the Thriller Bark Pirates characters is it has to be a Thriller Bark Pirates type character, but this Gecko Moria says otherwise. This one says just any character with a cost of 4 less rested. And actually, excuse me, it doesn't even play it rested, yeah. So just play up to one character card with a cost of 4 less from your trash. Really, really powerful effect there. And then on play up to one Thriller Bark Pirates type character card with a cost of 4 less from your trash, or add it to the top of your life cards face up. Then we're running 2 Boa Hancock, just 9 cost 10k. You gain a life, your opponent loses a life. Trigger, play up to one character card with 6,000 power or less and a trigger from your hand. We actually have quite a few of those, right? We have the Absalom, the Hogback, and the Perona. Not a whole lot of targets, but it is something. We don't want to play this for the trigger anyway. We want to play it for the on-play effect. And then we're running 4 of the Hurry Up and Make Me the Pirate King, 1 cost Searcher for Thriller Bark, and 4 of the Stage. Really good stuff here. One thing I do want to mention about... Excuse me, guys. My throat's being ridiculous right now. Let me just type in Thriller Bark real quick. One thing I would recommend messing around with in the future... First of all, I was running a Nupe and Cerberus. That was like the only 2 cost stuff I was running. And then, of course, Sindri's nice for filling up the trash. But guys, Gigaro of the Wind, on KO, give up to one of your leader or characters plus 1,000 power for the turn. So every single turn with the stage, if you have Gigaro of the Wind in your trash, you can just bring it back with the Thriller Bark stage for 1, and then you can KO it with the activate main effect of Gecko Moria to just swing for 7,000 pretty much every turn with your leader alone, and then whatever else is on your board for an extra 1,000. So this Gigaro of the Wind is extremely good. Kumasi is not too bad either if you can build up your trash. But another card we might want to consider to combo is this Captain John. Trash 2 cards from the top of your deck and give up to one of your opponent's characters -1 cost for the turn. Okay, why is that relevant? This card right here. Literally, it's not even a Thriller Bark card. The card is just so good. Think about it like this. If we go on a 10 Dawn turn, a 9 or 10 Dawn turn, if our opponent has a 10 cost character, so let's just say it's a 10 Dawn turn because our opponent has a 10 cost character in this example. Okay, no problem. Thriller Bark, pay 1, bring out Captain John, -1 to the cost of your dude, and now we're going to play out Crocodile, and now we can hit a 10 cost character because that does not go off of base cost. It says up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 9, not base cost. So we can reduce the cost of their character by 1, now their 10 cost is a 9, and we're locking it down. Right, and then we're going to KO this card and buff our entire board with Gecko Moria. So really nice synergy with Captain John and with Gigaro of the Wind. Okay, that's the main thing I wanted to mention there. And this card was very nice. This 6-cost Gecko. This curve is outrageous, guys. Let me just tell you right now. If you can go, turn 1, set things up with either, maybe set things up with the Thriller Bark or whatever. There's the Searcher event, and then play out a Nupe or whatever. You have a few different options there. And then your 4 Dawn turn, you can just hit him with this Perona. On your 6 Dawn turn, if you were able to get this Perona in your trash with a Nupe tricks or whatever, this Gecko Moria pulling out the Perona from trash is a very high value play, even if you can't activate the final part of the on play to play out a 2 cost from your trash. It doesn't matter. Just getting a 6 cost 7k and a 4 cost 6k on the board is a very big deal. Okay, now we got one more deck to check out, guys, and it's this Boa Hancock. So Boa is a 5,000 power, 4 life, blue-yellow, 7 Warlords of the Sea, Kuja Pirates type leader. With opponent's turn, when you play a character, draw a card, and then Dawn ×1 once per turn. When your Amazon Lily or Kuja Pirates type character with 5,000 base power or more is KO'd, your opponent adds 1 card from the top of their life cards to their hand. I don't think we have enough really good blockers to activate that Dawn ×1 once per turn effect like I want to. I mean, we have this Boa right here, but that's a brick. We do have this Boa right here. It's a 4 cost 5k with a 1k counter. At least it activates the effect. And then the rest of our Boas they're actually massive, right? 6 cost 8k, 6 cost 8k, and 9 cost 10k. Well, I'm getting ahead of myself. We'll talk about that in a minute. So the list we're running 4 Gloriosas for the searching, 4 Aphalandra, it's just a searchable 2k counter. 4 Boa Hancock, this goes perfectly with our leader effect. Running 2 of the Boa Hancock, 4 cost 5k from OP-01. 3 of the 4 cost 6k Boa from ST-17. 4 Boa Marigold, that cheats out a 6 cost or lower Boa Hancock. Then we're running 2 of the new Boa from EV03, a 6 cost 8K. On play, if your opponent has 5 or more cards in their hand, your opponent places 1 card from their hand at the bottom of their deck. And then activate main, place up to 1 of your characters at the bottom of the owner's deck. Give your leader and 1 character up to 1 Rested Dawn card each. And then, of course, we're running 4 of this Boa Hancock, 4 Jozu, 4 Rindo. There's another card that came out as well, but it's not on the sim yet. Like if you type in, actually, let me just type in OP-14, and if you go to the yellow cards, there's another 4 cost trigger. I think it's a Kuja Pirates or Amazon Lily card. I can't remember. It's a trigger card, but we don't have access to that on the sim yet. They have not implemented all the cards, guys. Remember that. Okay, but we're running 4 Rindo, 5 cost 5K, 1K counter, opponent's turn on KO. Add up to 1 card from the top of your deck to the top of your life cards. Then you take 1 damage. That goes perfectly with your leader effect. Trigger, if your leader has the Kuja Pirates type, play this card. 4 of the 2K counter Gorgon Sisters, which can also buff the board. 3 of the 9 cost Boa Hancock that, gains life for you, burns life from your opponent. 4 of this card here, Insolent Fool Stand Down. It's a 1 cost 3K, and it lets us play out these 6 cost 8,000 power Boas on curve every time, even when we go first. That's why I'm running this card. 2 of the Unblockable Perfume Themer, and 2, You'll Frighten Me. If you have 2 or less life cards, up to 1 of your opponent's active characters cannot attack during this turn. And then trigger, play up to 1 of your characters with a 6,000 power or less, and trigger from your hand. So that's about it, guys. I will say, upon initial testing, the deck that I struggled the most with is Boa Hancock, but this is not a refined, none of these are refined lists. But there's still cards we need. I think we need that other, I think it's a 4 cost 5K trigger character for yellow. I think it's Kuja Pirates. I can't remember, but we don't have access to that. We need all the cards still on here. But as is, I was struggling on here. I'm trying to find room for pudding. I'm trying to find room for all kinds of stuff like Red Rock, but it's becoming a struggle for sure. Especially balancing all the Boas, for the leader effect and trigger characters with the utility, the strong standard utility like Pudding and Red Rock. So this deck is becoming quite the struggle. It's going to become quite the project. Croc, let me go backwards now. Black Yellow Gecko was way stronger than I thought. It has a lot of potential, and I think I'm going to go up these Crocodiles. I'm just going to be honest, guys. This is like one of my favorite new cards in the game. Not just because it looks amazing. Black and gold, those are definitely my colors. White, black, and gold is like my favorite color scheme. It's not just that. This is probably the card that black needed if they want to get black away from removal. Okay, more of this stuff. We'll take that, please. Basically, infinite recursion. You cannot get rid of this card unless your opponent has like bottom decking or trashing. You can't KO it in battle. I'll get it back. You cannot KO with effects. I'll get it back. Bottom decking still works. That still hurts for sure. But that's about it. And honestly, guys, I don't know if y'all saw the game with Crocodile. We're going to talk about that later in a minute. I was down to one card left in my deck. So bottom decking this card might not be the worst thing in the world for me. Either way, really good stuff here. I think this Gecko Moria, I've got a lot more testing I need to do. But the way it's flooding out early with some of these really high quality cards like these 2 Peronas and then going into this board flood Gecko Moria, with enough work here, I think we can make this into a much better deck than I initially thought. And last but not least, guys, Crocodile. I'm absolutely in love with the way that this leader plays out. I'm going to make some adjustments. Sorry, guys. Hopefully that's the last time I have to clear my throat for this video. I want to make some adjustments where I don't fill up my trash quite as much. You have to fill up your trash a little bit, obviously, to start get the ball rolling, especially with cards like Miss All Sunday, Mr. Tubonic Ray Bentham, and all that. You have to fill up your trash a little bit, but we'll have to see what happens. If I'm going to fill up my trash this much, I need to also have ways to put trash back on the bottom of my deck. Maybe we'll start messing around with a card like the 7 cost Luffy. This one right here. Maybe we'll start messing around with this idea. We'll have to see. Because remember, there's no point in running a card like Rob Lucci, because this card, we can't KO cards. Remember that, guys. With Crocodile, all of your opponent's characters cannot be removed from the field by your effects. So maybe something like the Monchery. I will say Monchery is probably pretty good. Because it's 2 cost to do this. You pay 1 for the character and 1 to rest it, and then you rest this character, return 2 cards from your trash to the bottom of your deck in any order, and then you can grab like a 2K counter out of your trash. Who cares? Just anything that costs 3 to 5. So maybe we'll put some kind of 3 to 5 cost 2K counter in the deck, or even just this blocker is nice. Where's the Mr. 4 Babe? It's just a solid blocker. But the main idea is we're going to fill up our trash, and that was only 2 Dawn committed to play this out and fill up our trash, or excuse me, fill up the bottom of our deck from our trash, but then we can play out this Crocodile and go from there. So we'll have to see. The other thing is we're filling up our trash to such an extent, maybe we also just keep in like this package here with Sabo. Maybe we go a more Dressrosa package, and then we go something like this, the Gum Gum King Kong gun. Because and you know, honestly, that's probably not the worst idea if we run something like, if we run something like this 7-cost Monkey D. Luffy. Well, there's a Dressrosa card. Sabo's a Dressrosa card. We fill up our trash like crazy, and now all of a sudden, our Gum Gum King Kong gun is just going to be popping off on our Dressrosa characters. So, yeah. All right, guys, that's all I got for y'all today. Very excited to put this video out as fast as I possibly could. Cannot wait to do more testing in OP-14. And in tomorrow's video, we should be doing the other 4 leaders. Okay. Just when I said hopefully that was all we would, hopefully that was the last time I'd clear my throat, I had to clear my throat again. My apologies. Now, let me get the outro page on here. Guys, what do y'all think about what you saw so far? If you have any recommendations, by all means, put in the comment section below. Just please be nice. And that is it. Guys, please don't forget to like and subscribe. If you're liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, viewing my stuff, or using my TCG Player affiliate link, you're helping me out big time. I really appreciate it. If you're donating through Patreon or PayPal, if you're a Playmat supporter, a YouTube member, or part of the Discord community, thank you guys so much. This community has been incredible. All right, I'm done. Hope y'all enjoyed. Till next time, guys. Peace.